Okay, he was doing a quick wipe down on the S600. Should have been about 20-30 minutes. It's been about 40. I like the black on those. Okay. We talked about the paint.
Yeah.
And how it needs to be washed more evenly to look like this side rather than not evenly, and we're missing spots here. Same thing goes on the top. Same thing goes for the side. I mean, I can't miss whole chunks of the car when we're washing it. It's very, very, I mean, you're missing chunks everywhere, man. Everywhere. And it just shouldn't be like that. I was making a video and I went over with you, and I said in the video to remember to do the inner lips. You didn't do the inner lips. I want to get nice even stuff, and this is faded, but you can tell this was not rubbed out. This was just wiped over real quick. Now I can tell on there the last little bit, I don't know before, but you were putting some elbow grease in that, and that's good. This, something stuck off the rag, huh?
Yeah, there's a little...
Yeah, I thought so. But what stands out the most and makes me the most pissy, come on, dude! How come my wheel looks fucking great and your three wheels? I mean, you did not do what you sat there and filmed me doing. You did on these a little bit better, but you just gotta make sure, huh? Yeah. I mean, that's just awful. That's awful. And I'm getting up to picture these cars, and this is the worst one on this one, but I mean, they're just, the stuff's everywhere. And it shouldn't be. And it's gotta come off when it's being washed with a nice rub and tug. But this is just not being pushed on enough. So whatever. So, you know, for next time and stuff. And the thing is, if you're not scrubbing the hell out of it around the logos, and I know I scrubbed half of this because I remember going over that and tearing my...
That's when that little tear came
in a sponge? Yeah. I can't handle walking by this thing every time without just looking in here at this beautiful motor. Serious. I can't wait to buff on this car. It's not going to be perfect. Actually, you've seen us do the Cadillac here, and I've came out. Also, by the way, people ask what camera I use. One of the best cameras I've ever had is this Sony a6000. And Nick is working on this car. And let's see how the front looks. Okay, Nick's been working on this car, and he just asked, how's it look when I came out? And it's looking good. My question is going to be if this stuff, yeah, this will all come out better. Check this out. I can tell in the lens, kind of, but this area wasn't buffed. And it looks to me like you're being very careful of not rubbing paint off on edges, which is good, but feel it. And you can tell right here a bit, and I'm seeing maybe a spot I missed a little bit right there. But kind of tie it back in on them spots, and I can see one right there, where this area right here, just you didn't hit it as hard, and you hit this really hard, I can tell. So, right up in there a little, right here, and right down this line, man, and right here a teeny bit. But that's it. And come back here and look, and you'll see exactly, and getting back up off of it too. And I'm trying to show it in the video. And that's where when I take a picture, it's going to make it look worse. See, I can see the piece I missed, and then boom, it keeps coming right down. But now it's interesting for me to see what you're doing, because I believe you're being careful of these edges. Maybe I'm just being wrong, and you're just...
No, I'm just going to try it. Because, come here, check it out. Because I noticed.
Well, you...
Yeah, by accident.
Why'd you do that?
I didn't mean to.
Well, that's not very nice.
It won't come off.
No, it won't come off. It's pretty bad. Come on, the paint was perfect on this. Okay, let me see. Damn, dude, how did you do that? I don't understand. That's.
I was doing like this.
You don't ever do like that. Ugh. Why were you going like that?
I tripped.
You sure did trip.
Tripped pretty hard though. It was fun.
Now, and this shows you right here. No, it's not funny at all.
No, the way I tripped.
You tripped? What do you mean?
You got tripped over the cord.
Oh, bullshit, dude. This is like fucking much. This is wham bam. You fucking, you gouged the hell out of it. You didn't just trip once. If you tripped, you must have like got stuck on a video thing where you're like, or something. Because that's like 14 trips. But this shows how the difference of just rubbing by hand and rubbing the piss out of something.
Oh, it's gone.
Pretty much. Now, did you buff this? No. Yeah?
Yeah. You left that little mark right there.
Well,
you're wiping it down.
Well, the thing is you're not buffing this hard enough. Because if you can watch right here, I'm buffing with my fingers and getting it harder. Maybe you was just scared of it after this or something, but it needs to be buffed a bit harder without tearing into it. And that's the thing on this. Turn it over real quick. Anytime this thing's involved, anytime, man, even this can scratch it up. Okay, as you can see, that rubbed out very nicely. You can hardly see it now. If you check the walk around video, I might have uploaded it. I probably just threw the footage away. But one thing I want to add, and it's hard to keep everything straight when you're doing this. Like you'll see me forget to throw the cord over my shoulder or this or that. One thing that's very important when doing these cars is stay on half of it. Don't do whole and try and go over the car. Stay on half. So I left Nick here to keep on with that, and he kept on this way. When you're buffing a car, don't do that. Don't try and do the whole car. It's just too much to see. Stick with half the car, and what should have happened from there is you should have kept coming up this way, up, doing the whole side as you're coming, getting the whole thing done, and then coming around the car and tying it all in this way. If you're coming and trying to do the whole car, it's a lot. Either way, now as long as you're just dealing with half, keep it halved. It's just easier to keep track of what you have and haven't done. This car is looking great. I'm gonna tie the hood in a little bit in some places and make a video here in a second. And that'll tie it all back in too. I think that's gonna turn out about 90% great, and you can see the difference right there, right where he stopped and right where he went up to. We're talking 95% better. All that's left is a little piece here, all this, and little pieces. You gotta step back and look at what you're doing every once in a while, because getting all up on it and stuff, you get all confused and it all starts looking the same after a while. I'll clip more in a second here, I don't know. Like I say. How's it turning out? Make sure you're getting this thing hard enough. This has not been buffed good enough. Everything along in here, I can still see watermarks and stuff. This should come almost entirely clean. Where's that wrench at? Do you have it? Can you find it? I mean, it's looking okay, but I shouldn't see differences in color in here. Why am I, you know what I mean? It could be from doing edges and stuff and then not going flat on it after that. I don't know what it's from, but you can see in here that this is a nice, deep, dark, lustrous, versus right here, it's all patchy and faded, and especially in here. Get in here and look. It's just, you've still got film on there. This I pushed on. There's a happy medium. If you push too hard, you rub all the paint off. But at the same time, you got to push hard enough, and you can see right there where I stopped. Look around there. And I mean, you're getting, look close too, because it's hard to see and you'll see it from different angles. But when you get up on this spot, it's really going to show up. And the question would be, what's up with the roof?
I haven't been here.
Why not? I've told you, and I've made video over and over and over again saying to continue and do half of the car. And you keep coming up with your own thing and keep going. It's not what I've told you to do. I've told you over and over, buff half of the car. If you're not buffing half the car, you're going to lose track. This is not acceptable. It's totally not acceptable. You're not buffing this thing. If this here is, I'm not even going to do it for you. You know how that's going to look. I can feel it and tell. That side almost looks perfect. This patch right here wasn't hit again. That side almost looks perfect. But like I say, back up and look, and you can see that my spot I missed just a little bit more, because that's going to be one of the biggest standout parts. Look right here, man. I can tell where I stopped buffing and where you started. You're simply not pushing as hard. I shouldn't be able to buff a spot and it's shinier than everything else. I mean, you can see right in here, and especially there. Especially when you get up on it. I mean, it's just got to be hit better. Do half the car. I mean, you haven't done the window here, have you? You might have. No, you didn't do the window. Half the car, man. Looking good. And you've done this, but not this. I'm gonna do one more piece. Well, that ain't coming much more, so that's looking good. Watch this body line. It's easy to let it come dusty and not be hitting it. And like I say, this is a lot cleaner there than it is here and here. By the time you're doing the other side, make sure it's good. And we went by this whole thing twice now and not done anything about the inner lips here. And I've said it on videos while you're standing there listening to me film. So you've went past this 3-4 times, and watch out, you cut yourself on the inner lip. But it's got to be done, and you can see where it's going to have to be done better on a power wash too. But at any point you can get this better, because now it'll start looking. I mean, I'll tell you what, I can take a picture from 40 feet away, and amazingly enough, you can do the best job in the whole wide world on all this, and what shows is this fucking ugly white lip right here for some reason. On this car, one of the final things on it, especially since we didn't get, can you hand me that? Get these 100% the first time? Paint. It's paint. It's not chrome.